Dear online viewers, welcome to our channel Exploring Vision. The topic of the video which we will present before you today is vulnerable Royal Bengal Tiger. We hope that from the beginning till the ending of this video, you all along will be with us. In order to get the regular updates, kindly click the bell icon and subscribe our channel. If you prefer our video, then please forward us your like, share and comments. We are very grateful to those who have already subscribed our channel. Tiger is the national animal of Bangladesh. The tigers who abide in the Sundarbans are called Royal Bengal Tigers. Sundarbans is the name of a mangrove forest located at the southwest coast of Bangladesh. UNESCO has already declared Sundarbans as world's largest mangrove forest. Other than the Sundarbans, tigers are also found in the different forests in different countries. But from the viewpoints of physical structure, beauty, strength, ferocity and rapidity, Royal Bengal Tigers are incomparable to anyone else. In the distant past, the colonial British rulers from distant land were totally wondered on viewing such tigers and very appropriately named this as Royal Bengal Tigers. So Royal Bengal Tiger is our national pride. One very important point must be mentioned before any further discussion. That is, the total Sundarbans is not within Bangladesh. After the ending of British rule in India and after the India-Pakistan separation in 1947, more or less half portion of the Sundarbans was included in the Indian territory and half portion got included within the then East Pakistan, presently Bangladesh territory. It is known from the different tiger-based surveys that dating back 100 to 160 years ago from present time, tigers were also found in the forests of Mymensingh, Tangail and in the forests of Chittagong and Chittagong hill tracts. But in the overall comparison, the tigers of the Sundarbans were the best of all. But due to the decrease of forest areas and the unconsciousness of people presently in Bangladesh, tigers are only found in the Sundarbans. The Sundarbans is spread out in 3 districts, Bagherhat, Khulna and Satkhira. But the Sundarbans portion of Bagherhat is the most enriched. The scientific name of the Royal Bengal Tiger is Panthera tigris. The average length of the male tiger of the Sundarbans, including its tail, is 100 to 120 inches and the average length of the female tiger is 90 to 100 inches. The average length of the tail is 36 inches. The average height of the Royal Bengal Tiger from ground to neck is 35 to 45 inches. The average weight of the male Sundarbans tiger is 200 to 300 kgs and that of the female is 100 to 180 kgs. The tigress of the Sundarbans gives birth to 2 or 3 cubs at a time in the hole of thick pine tree or in a specific jungle called Hudobon or in a specific bush called Hetal Jhop. If there is any opportunity, then the tiger itself kills and eats its own cubs. That is why the tigress repeatedly shifts the cubs from one place to another place. In order to save the cubs, the tigress even accepts its own life risk. The cub becomes self-dependent in 18 to 28 months and finds out its own loitering ground. Our traditional pride, the Royal Bengal Tiger, is now vis-a-vis great disaster. That alarming matter is brought before you here in turns. At a bit distant past, there was no scarcity of foods for the tigers in the Sundarbans. Deer, the major food of the tigers, would roam in the nook and corner of the Sundarbans. Other than deer, there was no shortage of some other food of tigers like wild swine, monkeys and rabbits. As such, the frequency of raid of the tigers in the near about localities in search of food was very little, as because by that time tigers in the Sundarbans were so many in number, so hunting the Royal Bengal Tiger was considered as a favorite sport as well as a recreation. on the purse of rich amateur hunters and affluent landlords. In order to hunt the tigers, the tiger hunter would mostly wait on a platform called macha, made in a safe location on the high branches of a big tree. A goat would remain tied up at the ground level of the tree as a bait for the tiger. In most of the time, fortune would not deceive those hunters. In the then society, successful tiger hunting was reckoned as an action of great bravery. In the past, very rarely, whenever any Sundarban tiger entered any locality, then very suddenly occurred the unfortunate incident of human being hunted by the tiger. Beside that, from long ago, many native people have been depending on the Sundarbans for their livelihood. As for example, Bawali or woodcutters entered the forest for cutting specific leaves called golpata and goran tree. Mowals or honey collectors enter for collecting honey, and fishermen enter to catch fishes. Though these professionals remain very cautious during their jobs, but many a time they fall prey of the hungry tigers in the dense forest. The Bengali term of tiger is Bagh. People in the nearby locality of the Sundarbans are very afraid even to utter the word Bagh. Their blind faith is that if the word Bagh is uttered anyhow, anywhere, then tiger will inevitably appear there. So they utter a self-made alternative word Boromia, which means a big person. In order to stay safe away from tiger raid, many a time the native professionals depend on the men with supernatural power named Tantric or Gunin. They believe that by uttering supernatural verses, these tantrics or gunins can divert the tigers to some other tracks away from the human trails. Undoubtedly, such beliefs have no realistic base. When tigers really attack any guy, then all the supernatural verses of the tantrics or gunins go in vain. Many people know one fact, that whenever a tiger incidentally or accidentally tastes human flesh, then that tiger no more wants to taste the flesh of any other living being. That means that specific tiger turns into a serial man-eater. In the past, whenever the forest department would come to know about any new man-eater from any hearsay, then they would administratively convene expert hunters to kill that man-eating tiger. One such famous hunter of the Sundarbans was Pochabdi Gaji. He had the skill of imitating the roar of tiger by holding an earthen pot near his mouth or by placing the two combined wrists in a special technique near his mouth. Before killing a targeted tiger, many a times Pochabdi Gaji made that tiger be present nearby by calling that skillfully. By killing 56 man-eaters in his total hunting life, Pochabdi Gaji has turned into an all-time legend in the Sundarbans. It has been stated earlier that in the distant past, the infiltration of the Sundarban tiger in the neighborhood locality was seldom. But due to different reasons, the margin of such incidents has jumped up. The main reason is the insufficient food for the tigers in the jungle. Deer, the main food of the tigers, are dying in the hands of concealed illegal hunters. Violating the prohibition of the forest department, these illegal hunters are hunting the deer, sometimes by bullets and sometimes by secret traps. They are selling the tasty meat of the deer to irresponsible people and selling deer skin to smugglers. Thus, nowadays, deer meat are entering more in the human stomachs instead of the tigers. Other than that, dishonest timber traders are turning the dense forest narrower day by day. In reaction to that, other food of the tigers like swines, monkeys and rabbits are not randomly available like before. As an outcome of environment pollution, the availability of crabs and fishes, the aquatic food of tigers, is also lessening gradually. Thus, finding no other alternative, hungry tiger or tigress many times is raiding the near neighborhood locality. Sometimes the intruders are killing the cattle and sometimes weak human beings. As per the report of the United News Bangladesh UNB published on the 20th July 2020, it is known that in the bygone 20 years, 38 Royal Bengal Tigers have very alarmingly died in the Bangladesh portion of the Sundarbans. Among these tigers, some have died in the hands of illegal hunters, some have died by tidal waves and storms, and some have died out of old age. The hides of the Sundarban tigers killed by the illegal hunters are smuggled outside the country. In the international smuggling market, tiger hides are sold at profitable high rate. Still, it is known hopefully from the latest survey in 2018 that the tiger numbers in the Sundarbans, which fell to 106 before 2018, rose to 114 recently. In the district of Satkira, beside the Sundarbans, there is a village named Bidhava, which means the village of widows. The number of widows living in this village is more than 100. Most of their fishermen and woodcutter husbands have gone in the stomachs of the Sundarbans tigers. That is why they have adopted such a strange naming of their village. The local people have extreme agitation on the locality raiding tigers. So if they can ever strand any tiger anyhow, then they almost lose their sense. Beating the tiger till death, they reach the last margin of their grievance. Thus, the mass unconsciousness of the neighborhood of the Sundarbans is also a hind cause of the fall of the number of Royal Bengal tigers. In order to ensure the environmental equilibrium in the Sundarbans, the preservation of tigers is a must. At the same time, the local dwellers have to be kept also safe away from the tiger raids. People wounded by tigers have to be provided with sufficient compensation and rehabilitation by the government. Absence of Royal Bengal tigers in the Sundarbans will lead to a utter destruction of the food cycle there. As a result of such environment disaster, other animals in the forest will also be harmed. The inference is no Royal Bengal tiger, no Sundarbans. Instead of killing an intruding tiger in the locality, it can be made senseless by sleep-seducing bullets of special guns. Then it can be liberated again in the dense forest. A very effective system of monitoring the movement of a particular loitering tiger at every moment in and outside the jungle is the radio collar system. In this system, first of all, a tiger is caught by a trap or by sleep-seducing bullets. Then a radio collar is fixed around its neck. A radio collar is a specific kind of device which continuously transmits radio signals all around. Those radio signals are received by specific receiver instrument, and thus the location of the collar attached animal can be estimated at every moment. If a radio collar attached tiger is incidentally near any locality, then the forest guards and the dwellers there understand that in advance and can take enough safety measures. Special gun loaded with sleep-seducing bullets and the radio collar, both is a bit expensive. So, for the provision of these essential instruments, necessary steps have to be taken by the government itself. Different environment-friendly and tiger-friendly organizations at national and international levels can come forward to vastly cooperate with the government in this matter. More strict law has to be adopted by the government to punish the illegal hunters on the charge of hunting deer, the main food of the tigers. We propose let our tiger-based dormant consciousness vastly be aroused. Let us be unitedly committed to ensure the safe present and future of the Royal Bengal Tigers. At this ending stage of this video, we are letting you know the sources of information of today's discussion. Source number 1, the weekly magazine Avakosh, of the daily Naya Digonto published on the 24th February 2008. Source number 2, Wikipedia. Source number 3, internet website www.tigersincrisis.com. Source number 4, United News of Bangladesh UNB. Our heartiest thanks and gratitude to all the viewers who have been with us all through.